guess I should make it so the chat's visible.
That's more dangerous.
A little testing there.
This won't be easy, so you'd better gear up before you head out.
Okay, looks like we're going out.
Helping out like
Are we
this is a
live?
good way to
Oh,
make
looks
friends.
like, yeah, we're probably live on YouTube. There we are on Twitch. There we are on Mixer. Go to live stream. Yeah, click that extra button.
All right, we got 300 influence now.
So, Miguel Macias says, "See," and then Kia's 122 says, "First," right after Miguel. So nice try, Kias. Nice try. Almost made it. Just checking all of our channels here, making sure everything's up. So this is just the pre-stream. We got 13 minutes until the actual stream starts. So you
But
can
thanks
just
for being with us anyways.
yeah, you can sort of hang out with us and, you know, watch us be weirdos. We're only playing on normal mode today. We're not trying to make Brant want to die.
Pull out my last 3 remaining hairs.
There we go. Ah, yeah. Gotta get you beautifully on screen there.
Plenty of welcome back, Geoffreys.
Oh, well, hey. I'm glad to be back too, guys. Trying to see, where do I sit so that I'm not on Brant's camera, but I'm also not in front of the monkey. It's kind of, this is a challenge. Oh, maybe I just need to rotate this a little bit here. Then I'll sit further over this way, and I'll move Mr. Monkey.
Hi, buddy. Your
Further
neighbors?
that way. There we go.
Too loud.
Leon Anagers is like, is that head hair or beard hair? No,
I think the beard hair is permanent.
That's not going anywhere. Your beard hair actually kind of reminds me of my grandfather. He had a very, like, sort of long, flowing, white chin beard. It was great.
Thanks, Geoffrey.
It wasn't just like the curly, bristly thing that I get. It's like the, you know.
Your face reminds me of
beautiful-
somebody who's really, really old.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, dead.
Thanks, buddy.
So, hey, everyone who just showed up. We're having a really disturbing, weird conversation on the pre-stream.
Go figure.
It's because I'm back.
That never happens.
That's what this is about. This is what I'm here for, is to talk about uncomfortable subjects. Yeah. Hey, Xrokai, thanks for coming in. So DBD Gamer asks, any updates that have DLCs coming up? So the purpose of this stream is actually to go over a lot more of the details for the next update. We are very, very close to when the next update, the Bounty Broker update, is coming. We can't tell you exactly when, because, you know, we're still just making sure that everything is perfect, but it's supposed to come out very, very, very soon. And so we've actually gotten clearance to just tell you everything that's in it. So that's what we'll be doing today. So I've got the patch notes here open on my little notes here. So we're going to go through everything. We'll talk about the Bounty Broker, talk about the Critical Response Pack, because, you know, to be complete. But you guys have already seen that stuff. We're going to be talking about the other things that are going into the patch, and there are lots of them. So
Some really, really cool stuff that I didn't even know went in.
yeah, no, I actually found out, like, this whole blue section down here is stuff that I found out about, like, yesterday.
Yeah.
So
some really neat stuff.
So
I'm super excited.
yeah. Let's see here. Reaper0311 asks, are we getting some SWAT guys to recruit? That's a very specific question. That isn't what we did. But, you know, maybe someday, who knows?
But now I hear the old 70s SWAT show tune in my head. Dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun,
I don't think I know that.
dun-dun. Shall I dance it for you?
Yes.
No.
Always.
I'm not going to.
I mean, well, you don't need to ask me to dance, Brant. You can always dance. Oh, but TCMO is here, of course, helping us out, giving people information every few minutes. That's awesome. Oh, we're doing a giveaway today, too, by the way. We're giving away some, lanyards. I wonder if I can go grab a lanyard real fast. We got 9 minutes. I'll be right back.
Yeah. See ya. Oh, you've left them alone with me. This is where things get really interesting now. Because I'm going to try and read chat while I'm driving. Move his chair. How about that? You think that was enough? Maybe. We'll see. Nothing happened while you were gone.
Oh.
I don't even want to
Come back here, Mr. Monkey.
Tastes so bad.
Okay. So, yeah, these guys. State of Decay to Heartland lanyards. Right there. Beautiful lanyards. If that's the kind of thing you're into, that's the kind of thing we got. So, we'll be giving those away today. And I don't know, mostly just sitting around and just chatting about the game. It's gonna be fun. Yes, Undead Mark, they are Heartlandyards. Heartlandyards.
Mark.
Heartlandyards. Yes, something like that.
No.
So, okay, Infinite Gamer is also asking about police and fire people. We already have
Fuck, my eyes are burning.
we already have people you can recruit who do have firemen and police backgrounds, or firefighting and police backgrounds. That's the thing. They're just very rare. It's one a character might have as their career trait, might have one of those. So that does exist. They're just not, it's not a special thing like, oh my gosh, you found a firefighter and he's dressed differently and all that. So we don't have that level, but there are firefighters and police in the game. So you can just, if you just keep on pushing that randomize button, you'll eventually find it. Fall Down Go Boom says the puppet is talking. I assume you're talking about, which actually we both have puppets. You can be talking about either one of us.
We do.
Oh, hey, Blaze is here.
Blaze!
Hello, Blaze. We were just talking about you today, and we won't tell you what we said.
Yeah, we're not talking. We were talking all about you, but yeah, totally can't.
Completely secret.
We do not want you to know what we were talking about.
Yeah. Oh, thanks. So, there's a lot of people saying welcome back to me. I appreciate it. By the way, I'm extra thankful to Jeff Sult for taking on my responsibilities with the stream while I was gone on vacation, because I had a great time on vacation. We went out to the Outer Banks in North Carolina. Narrowly missed being eaten by sharks. And people were having all kinds of disasters going on the Outer Banks while we were there, and so all the adults who did not want to go in the ocean were all looking askance at the adults that were actually going and dragging their children into the water. But
why was there like a shark bloom?
There were like 3 shark attacks right before we went out there, and there was actually the waves were actually really intense. There's one person who actually a wave broke their neck.
What?
Not near us. They were like several islands down. But yeah, so it's like when we heard that news, people were like, "Don't go in the water," and I'm like, "Oh, it's fine." And actually, I was really impressed with my kids were unusually brave tackling the waves and stuff like that. So that was pretty fun.
I mean, was the surf at a height that like a reasonable person wouldn't have gone in?
No, it was just usually around most of the Outer Banks I think has got kind of a gradual slope, and you kind of get used to the waves being kind of small and kind of languid, but I think they were just a little bit more intense, and we were at a particular spot near Hatteras where the slope was pretty deep, and so waves were just crashing right on the shore, and so you'd end up just some of the bigger ones would grab you and just slam you into the ground.
Ah.
I tried to get a boogie board out there and ride one, and I did successfully ride a wave entirely underwater the whole time.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, well, that's not how this is fun, so I'm not going to do this anymore. My daughter, though, my 9-year-old, I mean, not 9-year-old, how old is she? She's 11. My
Wow.
11-year-old invented a new sport, which is undertow surfing, where she would sit on the sand, on the wet sand, and then a wave would hit her, and then she would straighten out, and as the wave receded, it would rocket her like a torpedo into the water.
You know what that's called,
idea.
Geoffrey?
Might
It's
help
called
us out.
riptide, and it kills many, many people. You're a great parent.
But she was staying pretty close. I was watching her the whole time. It's
Okay.
fine. It's fine. She wouldn't go that far, but I was still pretty impressed. She was the only one who could do it, because she's the only one who was light enough to be carried that way. Oh, so Infinite Gamer 412 wants to know any military-themed DLCs or missions coming too. I think you should watch this stream.
Yes.
That's all I'm gonna say.
You probably should.
Yeah, you should be in here watching
go
this
ahead
stream. SXO, you should be watching this stream. Why aren't you watching this stream right now? It seems like that's where you want to be. Izumi fan likes your response to my parenting. So I by the way, I don't think we're doing the exclamation point enter style giveaways right now. We're going to be doing a quiz towards the end of the
Yeah,
thing.
so settle down.
Actually, I hope I turned off the questions. I did. Okay,
Uh-oh.
good. Oh, who signed us into a? What?
Who is possibly signing us in somewhere? This is
We've abandoned the Xboxes in the. I need to go. I'm gonna quickly ask the testers what happened.
You better make sure.
might know.
Is somebody at your house signing in?
I don't have Nigel at my house.
Oh, okay. Yes, we are all. We are 100% on top of all the technical possibilities here at our stream at Undead Labs because Geoffrey and I do this about 5% of our time, and he's the only one who knows anything about the technical side, anyways.
Possibly so.
If he or little Jeff weren't here, we wouldn't have a stream. I would be sitting here in the dark, probably crying,
Maybe
hoping
so.
that
That's
we could, get
really
this thing
odd.
up and running. But oh, hey, he's back.
yeah.
Thought
So
of an idea.
That was really weird.
Help us out.
yeah, nobody out there was doing it. I really hope that our password hasn't been compromised and somebody in the chat didn't just sign in as us, because that would be really annoying if they just kept doing that through the stream.
This is weird because my home account just signed me out like 15 minutes before I got here.
Huh. I wonder if there's just something weird going on Xbox Live. It has nothing to do with this particular
I
account.
hope.
That would certainly make sense. Cool.
So he was able to sign back in. I have a house guest.
Okay, so your house guest verifies that maybe we're not about to stare down the barrel of a disaster. That's good to hear.
I mean, it's always a pretty high chance.
Yeah, okay, that's true. We're 2 minutes from the stream starting, so we are definitely staring down the barrel of a disaster. The question is what kind of disaster? So hopefully it's not a technical disaster. It's just a personality disaster.
Fresh Beats, I will totally stream reading your book. You just need to mail it to me. And it can't be a sword. Because we've had swords mailed to the office.
Yes, that's
before.
true, please. The
Is it-
same person who mailed us this lovely monkey.
Is Cerebral Mesis in chat?
I have no idea.
Stop mailing us weapons. We're on every watch list.
Scarproof Brant is playing right now. We've only got him on normal mode, mostly just because we wanted it to be easy to go around and try out some of the things that we'll be talking about in the patch notes. So, it's not that Brant can't handle Nightmare mode. It's just that we wanted to, keep things chilled.
We all know that I can't handle Nightmare Mode. We all know.
So, Big Chungus, we are definitely going to be showing some new stuff today. Mostly just kind of a lot of the little quality of life fixes that are coming in with the with the new update that is on the horizon. It's not even barely. It's on the horizon. It's like rising. Like the sun is halfway up. That's where we are. We're so close to this thing dropping.
Yes.
The one green man says, hope the naming bug is fixed. You have to tell me what bug that is. What bug are you talking about? If it's the bug where sometimes a character's name will change and you don't know why it happened, I think that's a thing that I've been doing wrong that I think I've probably figured out how not to do anymore. So hopefully that one won't happen anymore. There is a bug with, we'll talk about that bug later on. Actually, it's 2 o'clock. We should just do this nonsense.
All right, let's do this nonsense.
Okay. I didn't actually practice my intro at all. I hope that I don't sound like a weirdo. Well, we'll find out. Oh crap, I'm hearing Mixer. How come no one has told us that I need to mute Mixer? Wait a second. Oh, I hope that hasn't been going through the whole time. Hopefully not. Okay, let's do this again. Hi guys, I screwed something up and I had Mixer playing through my headphones the whole time. And maybe you guys didn't hear it, which is amazing. I hope you didn't hear it. But it's definitely turned off now. And so now we'll do the actual beginning again. So sorry. No. Gotta start it after some blackness. Hi survivors, welcome to the State of Decay 2 stream. I'm your host, Geoffrey Card, and those of you who are watching live have seen that I have no idea what I'm doing anymore after 2 weeks on vacation. Huge thanks to Jeff Solt for taking over the hosting duties for the past couple of weeks. He did a great job, but I'm excited to be back to talk to you guys because we are right on the cusp of the Bounty Broker update coming out. We can't say exactly when it's coming out because we're not even exactly sure, but we are very, very close. And so we've actually gotten permission to go over the patch notes for the Bounty Broker update. So we're going to not just reveal the Bounty Broker and the new Critical Response pack, but also all the other fixes and changes that are going in at the same time. So I will not be doing that alone. We've also got Brant Fitzgerald here. He's driving the game.
Hello.
And let's see. Let's actually see that game that he's playing. Look at that. That is State of Decay 2.
You all know this.
You're all familiar with State of Decay 2. So let's jump right in. Actually, I'll give you a preview first. We're going to be doing a couple of things today. We're going to be talking about the patch notes. Around 2:45 Pacific time, we're going to be doing a giveaway. We'll be asking a trivia question, and people who answer it correctly are going to get one of these State of Decay 2 Heartland lanyards. We'll give away 3 of these to some random, lucky, successful answerers of the question. And we're also going to be revealing the brief little trailer at the very end of the stream. We're going to be showing the trailer for the Bounty Broker update, so that's going to be fun. So there's a lot going on. So let's first off,
It's a great trailer.
it is actually one of my favorite things that Alan has ever made for us.
It makes it look like we're a real company.
Yeah, I know, right? We're also going to be doing the return of Community Spotlight. While we're waiting for the winners of the lanyard to be tabulated, we'll go through some Community Spotlight videos. We haven't done those for a couple of weeks, and so we wanted to catch up with that. But right now, though, let's talk about what is in the Bounty Broker update. So,
Yes.
for those of you who haven't been watching the past, I guess who weren't at the last stream, we should tell you what the Bounty Broker is. So, actually, are you anywhere near the Bounty Broker right now? How far away? Let's see.
I can
You can open the map in a second. We'll check.
Yeah, let me deal with this.
We should, because you've got a mission to go see the Bounty Broker right now. So
Oh.
where? Okay, so you are in
I-
Drucker, so you got to get up
I'm-
onto the plateau
gonna-
to see him.
No problem.
Make your way there slowly. And anyway, so the Bounty Broker is basically when we released the World War II weapons. It was a big pile of weapons that a lot of people were excited about, but there wasn't a clear way to go and find them. People had to go and loot, they had to wait for a random trader to show up, and we realized if we want to keep adding content to the game, if we want to keep adding weapons and eventually, other kinds of, new items and tools and things like that to the game, we need to have a really coherent way for players who've been playing the game for a long time to go and know exactly where to get the new stuff.
That's right. Get your stuff.
So we added this character called the Bounty Broker, who is in every map. At least he was in the 3 core maps, and you can just go find him. He's at the same place every time, and he offers these little bounties, these little missions to go and Right now, it's all zombie killing missions. We're going to keep branching it out and expand the range of different things you can do. But you do stuff for him, and you come back, he gives you a free gun, and then from then on, you can buy that gun from him again and again. And you can outfit your whole
A
community with it if
free
you want.
new gun.
A new gun, yeah, exactly. It's not a gun you've had before. These are brand new guns from a new list. So that's what the Bounty Broker is. So that's actually kind of the flagship feature of this update. So we'll go check him out during the stream, and whenever Brant gets there, we can sort of show it to you
I'll
firsthand.
go. Oh, whoa! I'll go over there right now because
It's not an emergency because a lot of the folks in here, they've already seen him. They were here last week when we debuted him. The other big flagship thing that we're showing off is the Critical Response Weapons Pack, which is the first big set of weapons that he is selling. So that includes.
dang it.
It's a bunch of weapons that are meant to sort of commemorate, police and firefighters in the wake of the zombie apocalypse. Some people who, I think that
your first responders.
yeah, first responders. The folks in this world, I think, have a lot of reverence to the people who tried to save their lives very early in the apocalypse, and so I think people really value these weapons to a great degree. So we've got a police sniper rifle, a 5.56 millimeter police sniper rifle, an RC9 police carbine, a police M590A1, that's a pump action shotgun, the SWAT 416, which is a 5.56 assault rifle. We've got the SMG 45 caliber submachine gun, the MP5 SD, which is a suppressed MP5, the backup Boss, which is a 9mm revolver commemorating one of our favorite long-term fans.
Yep.
And then we got a couple of G-Series pistols, a G34, a G26, they're both 9mm. Then we got some melee weapons. We've got the high-angle rescue hatchet, which is it's a bladed weapon, and then a few different riot clubs and nightsticks from military and police backgrounds. And then last, we got a couple of close combat weapons. We got a police knife and a rescue knife that's got, it looks like a kind of a pry bar. Is that what it is? So that's a list of weapons. If you want to see more details on those weapons, look 2 streams back on YouTube. Dan Mode ran through the entire list and showed you a lot of those weapons in action.
We should play the trailer twice. We should play it now and play it again.
I mean, we easily could.
It's so good.
I do kind of like holding it off, though, so people have to kind of stick around if they want to see it. So those are the 2 big things, and we've already talked about those. So hopefully I got through those quick enough, because I think a lot of you here are waiting to hear about something new. Actually, I should be monitoring. Let's hear. Oh, so Medical Pizza had a question. Can you still find these new guns randomly? And the answer to that is no.
No.
Yeah, the Bounty Broker is the only way.
Especially for this pack, we in talking about how we're delivering the new weapons, we needed to make sure that our delivery system was up and running, and so we wanted all of them in this pack to be bounty only. But that being said, I know some people hate that, but that being said, we have also decided to make, where appropriate, some of the new guns available in Gen Pop. In the regular loot tables, we call it Gen Pop.
So so I think right now there's kind of an issue where, you know, if we put a weapon on the Bounty Broker, we actually it has to be locked all of the time if you find it in other circumstances. So like if somebody in multiplayer comes and brings you a gun that's a Bounty Broker gun and you haven't unlocked that gun, you can't use that gun until you've completed the bounty.
Right.
And so it makes that creates some challenges for us if we wanted to try to put something in both the loot tables and on the Bounty Brokers list.
Yeah.
But so one thing we've also done is the World War II weapons. Oh, look, there he is. There's Cash.
Cash Beaumont.
Cash Beaumont. So so he's there. So we can actually probably pick up a couple of bounties to work on.
Cash. How you doing?
So we love this guy. So we didn't actually expect him to be this cool. Scott Alba, our character artist, he basically came up with a look for this character. This is not the only suit that he wears. He's actually got several different suits, and he looks pretty amazing. So. Okay, so we got bounties available for, it looks like, wow, we've got 15 weapons in this
there's
thing.
Some okay, so also, don't expect this many weapons in every every new pack.
This is the first drop. They'll probably get a little bit smaller in the future, but we're going to keep adding to this list. We've already got plans to introduce more of these over the next coming months. So
I'll definitely activate that, because I'll do that before the end.
Close combat, bloaters with pistols specifically.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna my long running. All right, thanks, Cash.
So you can see the upper right-hand corner of the screen. We got the active bounties, but again, you guys, if you've been watching the stream regularly, you've seen all this stuff. So let's get on to the stuff that is brand new.
Yep.
So let's start with the general list. Okay, so we've got this categorized out. First, here are some of our general fixes. So this one's a community request. We significantly improved load times across the board, particularly on the Xbox, significantly reducing the time it takes to get into the game or into a new map. So this is, you don't look at load screens very much in our game because it's open world and we're constantly streaming in the map. But that very beginning of the game where you try to get into the main menu and then you try to get into the game, that was taking a very, very long time. And we've significantly reduced that time. I mean, there's still a loading screen, of course. You can't get there instantly, but
every game has loading screens.
But it is significantly lower than it was before. And so hopefully that'll make a difference to folks who are, starting up the game. And not only that, but we've also significantly reduced the footprint of the game on the hard drive.
But wait, there's more.
Yes. So right now, people, whenever people download an update, they talk about how how much space do I need in my hard drive? How big of an update is this going to be? So this update that we're issuing right now, when you download it, the download size is going to be just as big as it's always been. In fact, it might even be a little bit bigger than our past downloads. But once you download it, it's actually going to shrink the game on your hard drive, and you're going to have more hard drive space left over after it's installed. And then once we've got the smaller game in place, future updates, the download sizes are also going to be smaller. So hopefully, every time we issue an update, people talk about the fact that, with their whatever limitations that they have on their internet access and stuff, it can be really inconvenient. And, a lot of people, they have to kind of maintain a rotating roster of games on their hard drive because they all take up so much space. So we're hoping we can reduce some of that a little bit. And so you guys have Henry, our product director, to thank for that. He picked up on the problem, he noticed it, and he got it fixed. And so please, I'll send him a lot of thank yous because I'm really thrilled not to have to wait so long to get into the game when I'm testing things. And then on top of that, whenever you're done with these zombies, let's open up the settings menu. In fact, I think we might actually be able to pause the game right now.
I'll just run someplace where I can, ouch, be hurt as I get blood plague.
Scarproof, while you're getting there, Scarproof asks, what about multiplayer load times? This is all load times. And so whenever someone in multiplayer is loading up the map in order to join somebody else's game, that will be quicker too. And it actually might, we're hoping that it might actually reduce some of the cases where people were failing to connect because they were just timing out because it was taking so long for them to load. In cases where that was the problem, hopefully we've reduced some of those. So let's have a look at the settings menu. In fact, I should make our faces go away so that people don't vomit, and also so they can see what's going on. So look at the bottom there. We got help and support. This is a new section, and basically, if you wanted it to be more convenient to get to support.stateofdecay.com, which is our favorite place in the entire world, this is a place you can get there quicker. If you're on PC, I think you can just link right there through whatever browser gets opened up. If you're on console, this will open a browser on your console, which is not the best user experience, but that's why we included a QR code, so that if you're sitting there at your console and you want to get to support.stateofdecay.com fast to report a bug or to get help with a technical issue, you can scan that QR code. It'll send you to the website and get you all queued up to report things. So we really wanted to make sure that people have the easiest possible access to this stuff because, you guys have stayed with us through a lot of issues that you had to deal with, and we really want you to be able to have the best experience trying to get that stuff resolved. So that's the general section. Let's go talk about gameplay. So, you now use the direction of your camera instead of your character's facing to choose which interactive object to target. So maybe if we find a car, are we near a car anywhere? That's probably one of the best places to show this off.
So it's the car that is the hardest to show this on.
Okay. Awesome.
But
we might still be able to make it work, though. Oh, Buffalo Butt Cheeks.
Hold on.
Buffalo Butt Cheeks.
Stop the stream.
Asks, does bounty progress reset per difficulty? Dread mode, nightmare mode? No, it doesn't reset. You can, it's just account wide. In fact, even if you switch from one community to another, anything you've unlocked stays unlocked. So we didn't want you to have to feel like this is a grind that you have to go through again and again every time you play a community. Once you've completed a bounty, you've completed that bounty, and now the weapon is available to you and all your future communities, for influence instead of Okay, so normally you have to nudge your character around in really awkward ways in order to decide what you're pointing at. But now if you just rotate the camera and not the character,
see,
you can just aim at the gas or aim at the door.
That's right.
Instead of having to awkwardly point, poke your character around.
Move your character around like this. Now you can just, I want to fill it up.
So,
or drive or ride.
I was very nervous about approving this change because changing anything about the controls is dangerous, because you've gotten very used to the way that the controls work. And if there's something about this new method that bothers you, I was very nervous about changing it up on you. So there's actually a new thing in the settings menu. Actually, let's open up the settings menu again real quick just to look at it.
Okay.
So you open up settings and you go to gameplay. I think it's the top one, gameplay. So use camera to target interactions. Right now it's set to always. You can set it to never if you want to. And so we had another couple options in there that ended up not being very necessary. So basically you decide if you want to leave this the way it is. By default, we're changing it. But if you want to go back to the way it was before, you're free to. It's right there on the settings menu.
Jaja, the answer to your question is impending.
Yeah.
I mean, it is
we haven't announced a date for the patch, but it is very, very soon. And we're only being cagey because we want to really make sure that we fully QA'd this thing and tested it thoroughly before we put it out. And so really, the moment it's ready, it's going to go out. And so just, we can't tell you exactly how long you're going to wait for that, but it's very, very soon. I would not expect it to take very long. So here, awesome Twitch dude, since we were talking about the guns a second ago, wants to know if the ump goes full auto.
Yes.
Brant believes so. So there's another interesting thing you can do with the settings menu. I don't know if we want to run them through this particular thing, but basically we've added some new key binding options. So go over to the controls, controls, and go down to remap controls. And so if you see, look, we got dodge/crouch on B right now. But there's two new options, crouch and dodge, without each other. And so if I've gotten really tired of the fact that dodge and crouch are on the same button, you can manipulate your key bindings to actually split them up now and put them on two different buttons.
I think the most popular so far has been to put the emote on one of those, right?
So we've talked about swapping out emotes. Actually, the thing that we've been doing lately is we'll go down to the zoom when you're aiming your gun.
Oh, that's right, clicking.
So we'll unbind that and then assign crouch to that and then dodge to B. So you can dodge without ever crouching and crouch without ever dodging. So this is entirely optional. We didn't want to change the default control scheme on people for something that's as critical as crouching and dodging. But if you've been driven crazy by the fact that crouch and dodge are on the same button, you can now decide. The controller's so packed, you have to give something up in order to split them up. That's kind of why they're on the same button, is because we were just out of buttons. But now if you want to devise a control scheme that incorporates two separate buttons for crouch and dodge, you can do that if you want to. So more customization for you. We're not going to foist anything on you there, but if you can find a way that makes you happy to make that work, great. It's easier on a mouse and keyboard. If you play on a PC, what we've been doing is sticking stealth on G and dodge on C, and that works well for a lot of us here. So, but it's up to you. You guys figure out what feels good to you. I'm not going to tell you, the whole point of this is for you to have more customization options and not for us to mandate how it works. Let's see here. Keeping up with. Oh, hey, console freaks. You got to hold up for just a second. We'll get to your subject that you're talking about in just a minute. Another couple of gameplay changes. Using items like painkillers, grenades, and mines is now much more reliable and responsive while moving and dodging. So it used to be while you're moving and dodging around, there were a lot of things that just wouldn't work. You couldn't use a painkiller, you couldn't drop a mine, you couldn't, things that you would feel like you might be able to do would just fail with no explanation. And so we've fixed a lot of those cases now. So I'd love for, next time you play the game, run around throwing grenades while dodging or using painkillers while dodging. Try a lot of those combinations. I think you'll find that they're a lot more responsive now than they used to be. Another thing that we've improved about dodging is dodging while you're tired or injured is now a lot quicker, and there's less of a sort of a holdup at the end. It used to be, when you would dodge while you were tired or injured or sick, you would dodge and then you'd be kind of stuck, unable to do anything else at the end of the dodge. You'd be kind of like free meat for zombies. We've reduced that a lot, so that dodge is actually more useful now when you're tired. So
free meat for zombies.
People would kind of get into these frustrating loops where it's like, once I'm injured and once I'm tired, that's it. I'm just going to get murdered by these zombies, and I just have to slowly watch myself die. And so now we've mitigated that, so you have more control, and you can, if you're good, you can get out of it a little bit, more easily. So Buffalo Bit Cheeks, again, has a question. I always had trouble picking up something next to an NPC, like an item. Would the new camera change fix that problem? Yeah, that's the intent. Is if you've got two things that are very close to each other and you're trying to decide what to interact with, trying to use your character's facing to determine that was always creating all these very frustrating situations where you knew you could sort of do it, but you had to try like 9 times to make it happen.
Yeah.
Now with the camera, you aim the middle of the screen at the thing you want to interact with, and it's much more intuitive how it works, and you can kind of get to, you can solve the problem a lot faster and more intuitively than you could before. So yeah, that's exactly what it's for. Court 88 too wants to know, are the flying cars being patched? We are looking into how to fix those, and there are a couple of specific cases of cars flying into the air that we have improved, but we didn't put that in the patch notes because we haven't fixed all of the cases. We know that there are definitely cases where you can still get cars to fly into the air. So we haven't announced anything in the patch notes for that, and we're still working on that problem.
We haven't forgotten about it. Fixing physics is a very large process.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the gameplay section. Let's talk about inventory. Okay, so do you have any stacks of things in your inventory right now? After you're done dealing with this monster.
After I'm done getting wailed on by this zombie. Hold on.
No, Brant. Open your inventory right now. Okay, yeah, so go over the painkillers or the parts or something like that. So you'll notice there's a new option called Drop 1 down there at the bottom. That didn't used to be there before. If you hold the Y button, you can just drop one painkiller instead of dropping your entire stack.
That is so huge when you're playing multiplayer.
Yeah, so we got a lot of, this is officially a community request. We got a lot of requests from people asking, when I'm trying to share painkillers with my friend, I don't necessarily want to drop all 6 of the painkillers in the stack on my best character who's got all the pocket space in the world. Like, I want to just give them one and keep the rest of mine and not have it be weird and awkward and have to, they use one and then they give me the stack back and then I pick it up again. Yeah, so now you can just drop one if that's what you want to do, and no problems about it at all. Let's see here. Awesome Twitch Dude wants to know if Cash Beaumont is immune to bloater gas. I think that's an experiment that you should do and report back to the rest of us.
Yeah.
So that's there. We also added some safeguards against modded, what I've been calling glitter bombs, which is a modder sets up a weapon so that when it is salvaged, it drops 1 million parts into somebody's inventory. Then they give somebody the weapon, and then when the person salvages it, they get so many parts in their supply locker that they can't even use their supply locker anymore. It's kind of ridiculous. So we put some safeguards in against that. I'm not going to tell you what they are because I don't want to tell the modders what they are.
What I'd like is for us to put anybody who does that to somebody, it should mail me their address, and I would like to go have a talk with them.
So that should be there. So I think a few of you might have experienced that, and hopefully you won't experience it again. Unfortunately, this does not clean up the parts from your supply locker, and I apologize about that. But it should make it better in the future. You can unload weapons that you get from supply drops. Like if you open up the supply drop, you can unload them from there. It was one of many, we added a whole bunch of inventory control options in a previous patch, and that was just one that we missed, so we added it in here. And the game also it no longer claims that you can unload weapons that are in a trader's inventory because you couldn't do it. It was saying you could do it, but you couldn't do it because that's really rude to just walk up to a gun store and just take all of the
bullets,
take all the bullets out of the guns.
That shouldn't be in the gun anyways.
Exactly. If they're a responsible merchant.
It is the apocalypse.
So yeah, because seriously, that was actually. Did you ever watch The Rover?
No.
That was probably one of the weirdest moments in that. There's a scene in that movie, but I guess I won't give you all the details. There's a scene in that movie where this conversation is relevant. You're like, why did you have bullets in that gun? Whatever. Anyway, so that's the inventory. Oh man, we're coming up against a really interesting addition here. How much influence do you have?
Got 603.
Perfect. Can you open your radio menu?
Let me make sure nobody's going to jump me while I'm doing that.
Yeah, so this one is labeled, not just community request, this one is labeled frequent and emphatic community request. So, yeah, let's get to a fairly safe place.
I had to look up emphatic.
Oh, man.
I didn't. I'm an English major.
I was going to say, I'm expanding the vocabulary of English majors. Wow, that makes me feel special.
I'm going to run to the top of this.
The bathroom?
No, not the bathroom. Unless this is where you do your business.
So people are saying, please be what I hope it is. Okay, so open up the radio. And go down to find resources/people.
What's going to happen?
So go down to the very bottom. Find military survivors. What?
High five.
High five. So here's what we've got. We have added we basically have added enough character models that have military outfits on that we could put them back in all of the places where they were. So you know that mission where you've got the enclave full of military folks and they've got the one disaffected soldier who's thinking of leaving. That enclave now wears military outfits again. But not only that, because I know a lot of you have been very frustrated and waiting for a long time. So now, actually about 1 in 30 enclaves you meet out in the world will have military outfits on. So you can run into them fairly frequently. And on top of that, we've got this new option to, if you really, really want to make sure that you get military survivors into your community as fast as possible, you can now summon them to appear. It costs twice as much influence because they tend to be more combat experienced than other survivors, so they're worth a little bit more. But yeah, so you still have to, spend the time recruiting them like you would any other enclave, but you can make sure that they arrive in your community. Now, I don't know how long we're gonna leave that there. It's mostly there to just sort of let you, those of you who've been waiting patiently for so long to get military survivors, it's mostly to let you blow off some steam and get the characters that you want. I don't know if it's gonna actually stay in the radio menu forever, but for right now, definitely use it. Take advantage of it. Grab some military enclaves, recruit them, and you can fill out your community with people wearing army uniforms. And, on top of that, too, because now there's going to be a lot more military characters in the game, I felt like we didn't have enough military traits to support all of them. You'd start seeing a lot of repetition, so we've also added a bunch of new military traits to the game, which, they reflect a lot of different backgrounds, from, people who, work in the motor pool, to, people from, different branches of the service, that kind of thing. So there's a lot of different ones. There's even a few that are posers who dress in military outfits but actually have no military background at all. So
Let's see, I'm going to stand over here and go, do I really want to drive, Geoffrey? I don't think so.
Look! You've got another option.
I'm going to scooch over. Oh, God. Man. Okay, come on.
This one's really tiny, huh?
So...
Oh, wait, do you have fuel? You don't even have fuel. That's why it's not showing up.
No, I have some. I think I accidentally reset the settings.
Oh, did you turn it off?
Is it gameplay?
I think it was gameplay.
Always.
No, it's always. Yeah, I think we're just having trouble.
There
it is. Okay. So, still, it's still trying to find everything in the world, so sometimes it doesn't work exactly the way you hope, but it should still be a lot easier than it was before.
Take my word for it, it's much easier. You'll get to play it very soon, and you'll agree.
So Football Andy asks, why did we choose the Army branch instead of any other branch? Really, I think the idea was just the particular area where you are and the particular base where the tutorial starts out was run by people from the Army. And so we keep referring to the Army because those initial characters were from the Army. That doesn't mean the other branches weren't involved in the goings on of our story.
We don't have any biases against anybody except the Marine Corps.
I'm
just kidding.
It was specifically Marines that were asking that.
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
But yeah, so there wasn't any particular reason. It was just we picked one that seemed appropriate, and we just we in general, actually, we tried very hard to get specific rather than general with a lot of the choices that we make in about characters and their identities and stuff like that. We don't, when we're working with cultural backgrounds and things and name lists, we make sure that we don't just sort of combine very disparate groups of people into one big lump sum and say, oh, everyone who shares this trait in common is like this. If we were going to make a specific character, we just get very specific about where they're from and what their background is. So instead of just saying they're from the military, we usually pick a branch and we say Army, because it makes the characters feel more real, and it avoids us, at least we try to avoid making mistakes and getting things wrong about, subcultures and groups and things that we don't belong to.
Well, and the only experience,
by combining things that don't match.
The only military experience I have is with the Army, and so it was much easier to try and come up with references there than it was the Marine Corps.
Yeah, Brant is my first line of defense for checking a lot of this stuff's veracity. So, and he doesn't pretend to know everything either.
Well,
so we try to check a lot of these things.
The last thing in the entire universe I want is for some Marines to be mad at me. Okay, let's be honest here.
So King Games wants to know if the military traits are listed in the patch notes. They are not right now, and I think they would. There's so many of them, they would make the patch notes very long. So that's probably not necessary, but I think if you look around, I mean, we kind of want some of the traits to be surprises anyway. So, some of my favorite things was watching people see a new trait for the first time they haven't seen before and being pleasantly surprised. I think some of them that we did are a little bit funny, at least, and so I kind of don't want to spoil them for you. Let's see here.
This dump is clear.
So Ian M. Walker wants to know, will there eventually be an explanation as to where Cash Beaumont came from, why he's offering these quests and things? So that's our hope. We're not just just throwing him in there to be a nobody character. Right now, he's not saying very much. Right now, he's very cagey about who he is and where he comes from. But we do hope that we'll have opportunities to flesh him out in the future.
Mark this place on the
so,
map
yeah.
as our new outpost.
That's intentional. Oh, hey, another thing that you should do. We've got enough prestige. I think you should recruit a Red Talon person.
Oh, dude. I just took this outpost.
No. Prestige.
Oh, prestige.
Prestige. You should totally recruit a Red Talon person.
Okay. So I go.
So we'll come back to the thing I was about to say
Wait a
once you've radio. Yeah, go down to Daybreak. Daybreak up there. And then we don't have enough. Oh, we have just barely not enough. Crap, I thought we had enough. You're right. It's never mind. I'll just tell you what we did then instead of showing you. So we rebalanced the Red Talon contractors and soldiers as follows. They are no longer irritated at everyone all the time. And we also reduced the downsides that were associated with combat medic, pioneer, squad cook, demolitionist, and facilities engineer backgrounds. So that's most of the backgrounds. And so basically, we might have overcorrected when we nerfed the Red Talon soldiers a few months back, and so we're pulling it back, not all the way, but we're pulling it back a little bit. And we knew that specifically people were particularly unhappy with the fact that they were starting fights all the time. They felt like character-wise, they should be more disciplined. They should be able to control themselves, and so so we've gone with that. So now you're getting a higher caliber of Red Talon recruit who's not just a jerk all the time, and hopefully that'll make some folks pretty happy. Gooniverse asks, can you refuse military survivors for a refund like you can Red Talon? So the military survivors, when they're not using, their recruit mission is not like the Red Talon recruit mission where there's just one particular person who comes, you decide if you like them, and you can dismiss them. The military survivors, when they show up as a full enclave of 3 characters, just like if you had called for other random survivors. So it's not a case of like you get one character and you decide if the currency you spent on them is worth it, and then you dismiss them. It's more like you've got some new friends who moved over next door. You've still got to spend the time buttering them up by doing missions for them, recruiting them the normal way. That's the kind of enclave that you get. So no, there's no refund, but it's only 300 influence, which is small. It's less than most of your better outposts. So hopefully it's not going to be so much currency that you're too worried about about losing it. SXO 6 Maze 1 wants to know, will the old Red Talon soldiers change too? Yes. What we did was we changed the traits that were already on the soldiers. So we didn't create a new profile of soldier that has new traits. We just changed the traits. So all of your existing Red Talon soldiers and contractors, they should all get the benefits of this change without you having to do anything at all. Another change to characters, killing zombies with explosives now grants a small amount of experience towards the chemistry, munitions, outlaw chemistry, and bomb-making skills. So now if you go around, if you've got a character who's good at munitions and you run around with grenades and blow up zombies, you'll actually be gaining experience towards that skill. And it's one of those things where it just seems like it makes sense, and we actually already had the functionality in the game to do it. It just wasn't hooked up. So when I noticed that the functionality was in there, I was like, can I just hook this up? I think I will. So we just hooked it up, and I'd love to do, in the future, maybe we'll get a chance to do similar things with other skills, give you more opportunities, more means of earning XP, but no promises there. This one was easy, and so that's why we did it. Let's see here. So we're getting some questions about whether or not the military outfits are new. There are some variants between them. Like some characters have slightly different military outfits than others.
Yeah, those of you who are looking for like
desert camo or something,
straight off the press, out of the like right off the training ground kind of camo setups, you're not going to get it.
Yeah. So what they are dressed in camouflage. They're dressed in kind of professional looking gear. It's not formally the actual uniforms of the U.S. Army, and they're also right now they're all still in the green outfits. There's no desert camo, no urban camo, no Arctic camo, or anything like that. It's all along the same lines that we had, because we need basically the goal was to take the outfits that we already had in the game and removed and put them back a little fancier than before, and so that's what we've done. So So it's very similar to the outfits you've seen in the past. It's very similar to the outfit on the character that you have in the tutorial. But there are some variants to it. There, like, some characters look one way, some look another way. There's enough variety that I think it's interesting. But yeah. Let's see here. Oh, Asapor wanted to know how much influence was it to spawn one of those enclaves. It was 300 influence. 150 is usually the amount that it takes to get a group of randos into the game.
Okay,
And so getting the military folks.
I can go talk to them now. I was waiting for that mission to pop up.
Okay, cool. So yeah, Eugene and the Grunts have just come to town. So they've got. You can tell that they're a military outfit because they call themselves the Grunts. And there's a bunch of new enclave names that they can have. Let's see here. So Reni's Died wants to know, will the other missions stack to the side like the bounty and the military missions are stacking right now? Yes. So basically, we figured that the bounties, the size of that piece of HUD changes a lot less frequently than the mission does, and so we put it on top. So that it just sits there. When you've got active bounties, they sit there solid for a long time. But then your mission, which changes a lot more frequently, is the thing that's on the bottom that might be changing in size. So that's how they stack. You get your bounties on top and your missions down below. And then also, if you decide to unpin your mission and just have no mission available at all, the bounties stay exactly where they are. They don't move. So we considered putting the bounties below them, but then the bounties would just be sliding up and down all the time as missions changed, and that seemed like it would look weird. So we went with this direction. Amarga Vita wants to know: is there a limit to how many military enclaves you can have at once?
You're gonna tell us probably.
Yeah, it's the same limits that we've always had. There's always a limit to how many enclaves can be on the map, and nothing about that has changed. So if you were in the habit of trying to just add a million enclaves to the map, this will follow the same limitations that you faced before.
I'm not gonna go that way.
Okay. Another minor fix to the characters. Survivors with the last name Castellano no longer show up with a blank nickname. This was just an error on my part. Basically, I've got a system that I can use where I can click any name and I can add a nickname to it. And then I fill in what the nickname is. And I fill in how frequently that nickname shows up. And apparently, I clicked on Castellano, clicked on the little plus button to create a new nickname, and then never filled it out. And so it had maximum weight and nothing in it. And so if you had Castellanos in your community, they had no nickname, and they would just have blank spots where the name was. And that was weird.
Place.
Yeah, this place is cool. So that was weird.
I have no
so that's
reason
not
to
in the
come
game anymore. I just took that out.
It's not that we have an ingrained hatred towards that particular name.
Yeah, exactly. So we're running low on time. So we've got some mission fixes, but I think I'm going to skip those because they're very detailed. A lot of them are in Heartland, and it's just lots of fixes to little places where something could go wrong in a mission. And so there's numerous fixes to those, and whenever the patch notes officially come out on our website, you can go and look through those and see what's fixed.
It's gonna be soon.
There are a couple little things that are on these lists that I can call out. Heartland-specific specializations for core skills now gain experience as intended. So those of you who played Heartland, you might notice that the butchery skill, the field testing skill, the gymnastics skill, the obsession skill, the scavenging skill, and the vigilance skill would just sit there at whatever number of stars the character had when you first recruited them and would never go up. That's fixed now. So now they gain experience the way they're supposed to, and that was just an oversight. There's a little space in the data where I had to list the right thing, and I just forgot. So I'm sorry about that, but now those characters should work the way that they should.
Yay!
Oh, and we also, this is probably, one of the ones that got called out personally to me, so I wanted to mention it. We fixed some voodoo that was causing Reba, Diana, and Chavez to reset their timelines when they died in Heartland,
Whoa, I missed that.
starting over from scratch. So basically, you would get them killed, and then they would respawn again, and they would start their entire mission line over again. And that was ridiculous. And so we're not doing that anymore. Now the only way they can rise from the dead is as zombies. So that's it. And then there's a bunch of other Heartland missions, other mission fixes.
Yeah, and all the people hating on Reba, knock it off. Reba's awesome.
Reba is awesome.
Here they are.
Oh, look at that! Oh, look at these outfits these guys got on. Look, this guy's got a vest. This guy has not got a vest.
These guys are pretty tactical, though.
Yeah, they look like they know what they're doing. And they all start out with with military traits, and so you'll see some of them. They'll come up with equipment that comes with their military traits. Everybody here should actually be pretty valuable recruits.
Where's Eugene?
Let's talk about achievements real quick.
Okay.
So we fixed several achievements that the game was failing to award progress for. Specifically, the legacy achievements, people were failing to get them sometimes, and achievements associated with plague hearts. People were failing to get sometimes. And also there was another couple of weird ones like Sayonara for getting a character killed wasn't firing, and Barley and Spoiled Blueberries for killing bloaters. That one wasn't firing. And
What
so
is that?
that's a reference to Bastion. You ever played Bastion?
Yes.
Bastion's a great game. There is a line that the narrator says about their gas bag characters, those enemies that are big balls of gas, that they smelled like barley and spoiled blueberries when you blew them up. That's a deep cut right there. But yeah, so those achievements should be fixed. So go into the world and achieve, and hopefully they should work for you. Okay, 4 minutes before it's time to do the giveaway. So let me see if I can get through the last few. 8 months after delivering the holiday 2018 celebratory wizard van, we realized we should probably remove it. So if you notice in the radio menu, there's no wizard van in there.
No!
It's gone, but not forgotten. I'm sure we'll find an opportunity to bring it back sometime in the future, but for right now, because it was a holiday celebration, it feels weird for it to be there in August or July.
Christmas in July.
It's Christmas in July. So, we decided to be true to our word and actually make it a holiday celebration and not have it be around right now. Other little minor bugs, if you die of the blood plague while exiting a vehicle, you will now stand up and die instead of soft locking the game, which is what you used to do before. So stop doing that.
Seems good.
Yeah. We fixed an issue with AI pathing that was causing mission characters to dodge around you repeatedly while they're trying to stand where you are. So if you happen to be standing where they were scripted to go, they would just be like, dodge, 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 dodge through you. And it looked really weird. So now they're smarter, and they don't do that as much. We fixed an issue where clients in multiplayer games would hear muffled audio forever after they died. So if you're a client in a multiplayer game and you died, and then you came back as a new character, you would hear muffled audio forever. So now you don't do that anymore. We also fixed a few graphical issues with shadowing, especially with some Halo-like artifacts around characters. I don't have a good enough eye to have noticed that was a problem, but if you did, that should have gotten better now. And then finally, we just fixed lots of minor issues with like lighting and world geometry, seams and holes in the world, that kind of thing. Anywhere we found stuff like that, we killed it. So that's the patch notes.
See, lots and lots of cool stuff.
Lots of cool stuff, and lots of stuff that you guys have been asking for a really long time. That's what makes it exciting for us, I think, is the fact that we know that several of these things are things that you guys have actually really been wanting for a long time, and now you don't have to want it anymore because it's there. I guess you still want it, but you just don't notice that you want it because, anyway.
You know what we mean.
I'm going to go to the questions here. 60 wants to know, any achievements with the Bounty Hunter? No, we didn't include any achievements with the Bounty Broker right now. But that doesn't mean we won't in the future. We're planning on continuing to expand on that system, and so we'll have opportunities.
We need some. There's
Bounty
there's
complete! Look at that!
We need some time to marinate on the Bounty Broker too.
Yeah, actually, one thing you guys should get used to is that we're really going to try to treat this game like a live service game, which means that a lot of the time when you get a new feature, it'll be a small feature, and what we're going to do is put the small feature in, let you guys play with it, watch what you guys do with it, learn from it, and then make the feature bigger and better over time. And so that's the way you should think about the Bounty Broker, is that we didn't just sort of sit there and go dark for a really long time until we could just drop the biggest, most perfect, final possible version of the Bounty Broker. Instead, we made the small version of the Bounty Broker, put him out there, and then we want to see how you guys engage with him and what you think of him. And then we can respond to your feedback. And
your feedback is more important than ever, actually.
Yeah,
because
that's
we
true.
now have the mandate to really try and support this game in the way that you guys are hoping for. So.
Yeah. Jazzman NHS asks, can you get the military people in the randomizer starty thing? No, actually. I don't think they do show up in there, because to get that outfit on them, we actually had to create special enclaves and special character profiles, special character schemas that would include that outfit, whereas most characters don't. We wanted the outfit to always mean something, to be connected with some trait that explains why the character dresses that way. And so we weren't able to integrate it into the existing character schemas that we're using on the randomizer. So they're not in the randomizer. You do have to find them in the world. Or, call them, from the radio or whatever.
Diddly squat.
Let's see here. Oh, so folks are asking, are any legacy missions fixed in the update? Let me scroll down here. I think that yes, some of the fixes to missions were legacy missions. We were about to do the giveaway. I'll do this last one here. So the Builder Elbow Room mission is now better at finding applicable bases and has safeguards against getting stuck when it fails. So if you were getting hung up in the Builder missions, specifically because it couldn't find a base, that one should be fixed. Warlord Weapons for All now allows you to spare the last Enclave member without getting stuck. So there's that. We fixed a bug that sometimes prevented Warlord Personal Dead Zone from completing. And the Builder Legacy missions now automatically pinned to the HUD. So those are the fixes we made to legacy missions. So if the legacy mission that you were having an issue with isn't on that list, then and you don't already have a ticket into support.stateofdecay.com, please communicate with us about that. In fact, we've got this lovely place in the settings menu where you can go to find support.stateofdecay.com and report any issues that you're having that we haven't addressed yet, or that we haven't already gotten into a dialogue with you about addressing. Let's see here. So okay, let's do the giveaway. I'll glance at at more of the questions that are coming in a second, but we are a little bit over time to do the giveaway. So let's do the giveaway. So right now I'm holding in my hands this lanyard. This is a State of Decay 2 Heartland lanyard. So if you're a lanyard wearing type, this might be something you're interested in. And we have got a trivia question for you. So the way it works is answer the trivia question in your chat. We're watching Twitch, Mixer, and YouTube. And there's going to be one winner in each of those platforms. And basically, our moderators are going to check the first 10 or 12 people who get the right answer and enter them in a drawing to see who gets the lanyard. So, and we're doing that because people have different connection speeds and stuff. We didn't want it all to be about who has the fastest internet. We wanted it to be about the lucky person who gets it. So that's how it's going to work. So here's the question. The question is, and we've talked about this on this stream and on the previous stream, what is the Bounty Broker's full name? So if you've been paying attention to what the Bounty Broker's full name is, put it into the chat. And or if you don't know, watch what other people put in the chat.
That's
and then
right.
try to get in there real fast. You don't have to spell it exactly right. We've mostly been saying it out loud. It hasn't been in print all that often. So if you misspell it a little bit, we'll be okay with that. But while we are tabulating those responses, I think Brant should pause and come over here so we can do Community Spotlight.
Yay, Community Spotlight.
So first we're starting with this lovely image, which is, oh wait, it's not from Rampage. I've got the wrong name up there, excuse me. This is from Aberdeen. So Aberdeen was driving down the road and saw this thing, and what did they say? They said, you've been playing State of Decay 2 too much. When things like this make you automatically think, that would make a perfect outpost. So that does look very secure. So thank you, Aberdeen, for submitting that. Let's have a look at some of the other stuff. So we've got from SOD to Danyo, we've got this image where what they said was, here we have Anthony, Ben, Dion, and Steve wearing a few pieces from the Decamo, Decadenim, Summer Decay, and Biker Apocalypto collection. All perfect for slaying Zeds while having a style unique to who you are. With all of these unique characters who all look exactly like Rukari.
Yep.
So that was lovely. Thank you for sharing that, SOD2 Daniel.
Did Rukari actually send that screenshot in?
I don't.
I can see him building.
Is that his name? I don't know. So one thing I forgot to do was put our faces above all of the images that we're sharing. So let me see if I can just
do that?
Make that happen real fast because everyone wants to look at us. We are why people come, right? No, absolutely. So let's see. Is this no? Is that? Oh, that's your camera right there. Cool. I'm just gonna fix this real here. Everyone just loves what this is great television right now. Everyone's just watching me fix invisible things behind the scenes that no one can tell is going on.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
He's making
awesome.
It so much better.
Awesome. This is much better. Okay, so the next one. This comes from Mr. J.
Mr. J.
Mr. J. So Mr. J shared this video with us. So they're just fighting zombies like you do. But unfortunately, they forgot to put on some deodorant. So this one zombie, takes one look at it, or takes one whiff,
appropriately. Shit gets broken.
and he's just gagging. Oh, you're so disgusting, Mr. J. Mr. J, you smell so bad today, Mr. J. And now he's dead. So that was lovely, and Mr. J is actually on kind of a vomit kick right now because the other video that Mr. J suggested is this one.
Hello there. How you doing?
Come over, being friendly, and somebody is just not even acknowledging their guest. They're just throwing up in that toilet. So I liked this one because it reminded me of a bug we had early on in the game, where we had just started implementing the system that allows characters to go and interact with objects at the base, and we hadn't set up a lot of them yet. And so really the only one we had at the base was the toilet you could throw up in, and we had an audio issue where you could hear them from all over the base. And so basically anytime you were at home, somebody was vomiting into your ear holes. And it was probably the worst ASMR
Straight into your ear.
we've ever had.
Straight into your ear.
So this next one comes from Mr. Dart, and we're not going to watch the whole thing because it is super
Speaking
long.
of Dart, what are you doing watching this? You're on vacation, man. Go enjoy Australia.
I can't criticize him. I also watched the stream while I was on vacation.
Yeah, but you weren't.
You think it's too late to add that the spotlight for tonight's stream's shooting whilst driving?
So he starts off the video by debating whether or
it
not
might
he
be.
should
Actually,
get
yeah, because it's not Geoffrey who's doing it. It's already probably been done.
So there you go. But yeah, so he was.
we'll
his
just clip it for next
explanation of
time.
this was let's see here. Who needs mounted machine guns on vehicles in State of Decay when you have a mounted?
We'll just make sure we clip it and we put it on Twitter.
So that's Ouchie Kids up there.
Your role, Peachy.
This goes
yes,
for a long
she's
time.
19.
So I'm
She's
not going to watch the whole
old
thing.
soul.
But that's beautiful, and his balance is so good.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised.
No,
that
don't
you
start that,
stayed
Gift
up
Lord.
there.
Do not start that.
Some really
Whoa!
steady. Oh,
Now he's
crap!
gone.
There he goes.
That's what happens. That's what happens.
So yeah, thank you, Mr. Dart, for sharing that video.
Thanks, Dart. I hope you're enjoying your holiday.
This next one comes from Slim Merc on Twitch. This is what happens sometimes when in multiplayer. He refers to this as lag life, I believe.
Look at my screen, bro.
So he's got a friend up there who is
Stuck
just
right in the air.
having a great time hovering in the sky. I mean, if I could do that.
Looks
This
like
is also
they
what happens when
crossed
you're
the
really, really afraid of falling off a tall object.
Oh, that's true. It's like if you're like Wile E. Coyote, like
Yep.
you go off the edge and you're like. So that was that. Thank you for sharing that.
Totally
Slim Merc.
meant to do that, by the way.
And then we've got, this is from Same Color Blood. So here we just like, I've had this game from day one and I never saw this. They saw Zombies on Chains for the first time. And so I like that because they're only in one enclave, one obscure enclave. And if you never get them, you never get them. And so it's really easy to go a long time without ever seeing these guys. That poor zombie is not sure what's happening to him though.
So I'm confused. Was Abra's didn't have a video?
No, Abra's not a video. This is just the
Okay.
screenshot that they took.
Gotcha.
And then I think last but not least, we've got Rampage from Instagram shared this video of Winnie the Pooh trying to get out of his house after eating too much honey. So yeah, he's just stuck in there. He's got to kick him in the belly.
It's like that's what I look like when I eat too many tacos.
Same here. This is what I look like to eat too many tacos too. All right, anyway.
I saw what you did there.
Thank you, Rampage, for sharing that video. And thank you, everybody, for all of the sharing that went on. And let's see here. Okay, so let's go back into quiz mode and answer this question. So what is the Bounty Broker's full name? Those of you who are paying attention know it's Cash Beaumont. Cash Money Beaumont, the mattress king of Charleston.
I did like Sailor's answer, which was Boss Hog.
It does look a lot like Boss Hog. So the winners today are, let's see here. So on YouTube, Nizumi Fan is going to get one of these beautiful lanyards. On Twitch, Garlic Burp is going to get one of these beautiful lanyards. And on Mixer, SN Devils, I think, is going to get this. So definitely get in contact with our moderators. I think if they have trouble getting in contact with you, then go send an email to social@undeadlabs.com, and they'll be able to hook you up. And if you are not one of those people, please don't try to trick us. That's mean. So anyway,
congrats to the winners.
Yeah, congrats to the winners. And we got 5 minutes left. I can kind of look at what other questions we can try to answer that have come in. Let's see here. So, Ritz1906 wants to know, will the fix to load times address zombie pop-in while in the game? No, those are two unrelated things.
Totally unrelated.
Yeah, the initial load times are all about just sort of loading the entire map in at once at the very beginning. But then when you're running around and streaming, that's what causes things to pop into the game when you're sort of moving around the world. Because we can't actually simulate every possible zombie that could be in the world at any one time.
Yeah.
Instead, we only simulate zombies in a bubble around you. And so if you're seeing zombies pop in, it's probably because you're getting ahead of that bubble. And so. We would love to continue to try to fix issues like that, remaining issues that this update doesn't fix. We've constantly got our eyes open for more things we can improve.
That's also the same reason why sometimes zombies are inside structures that you can't get to, like under stairs and things like that.
Oh, it's because the zombie got spawned in before the world got spawned in.
The zombie got spawned into the area it knew was available as a map, but didn't know was unavailable because a house hadn't loaded yet. So
yeah,
it's kind of a pain in the bottom.
Yeah, so we sometimes have to manually place things in the world to tell the game that zombies cannot spawn here.
And
before
often that doesn't work.
Yeah, sometimes it doesn't work. So yeah.
Yeah. There's a certain order in which some of the big systems can happen, and sometimes the spawning doesn't.
I will.
Hey,
that's the plan. Stop jumping
get
the
in
gun,
here and
Aaron.
tell them that. Come here.
Aaron's coming in and telling me to play the trailer. But
Aaron's going to do what she does best.
We're going
and
to.
order devs around.
We're going to do it
Can you
last.
play the trailer, please?
We're going to do it last.
Now.
You're going to sit on a monkey.
We
Why
should
does
play
it have
it
to be
twice.
now? Okay.
Because it's too awesome.
You should play it twice. It's
you
super
people.
awesome.
We
Okay.
should have just spent the entire time on loop.
Okay. You guys want to see the trailer for the Bounty Broker update?
Yes.
Here it comes. And that last bit where it says available now is a lie.
It's a total lie.
It's not, well, actually, if you're watching this on YouTube later, it's probably true because it's coming out so soon. But right this second while we're recording this, it's a lie. It's not available right now, but it will be very, very soon in the near future. We'll watch that again, too, in just a second. That's one of our favorite things that Alan has ever made over here. It's really, really cool. Alan is a big 80s and 90s nostalgia enthusiast, and so I think it was probably, his head was full of this, and it's been bulging, and he needed to get it out. And so it's out there on the screens for all of you to enjoy.
Yes.
And my favorite thing is that the locations where it lists, cache is at 3 locations. Those are all accurate. That's actually where cache is in the world. Alan asked me, where is cache? So that we can put him there. And so yeah, so let's.
My favorite one is the one we just showed next to the big rock.
Oh yeah, so let's look at this trailer again. New arrival, special financing. Mass sales people. The biggest selection anywhere. A van down by the river, behind that big rock, and the hollow. Where are we? Oh, we're here. Hi. So, yeah, it's 2:59.
It's
so
time.
It's probably time to go. Let's see if any last-minute questions came in here. So Nozumi fan is comparing that trailer to Stranger Things. That is pretty much that kind of thing is the inspiration that they're going
Stranger
for.
Things or the greatest show that's ever been showed ever.
Yeah, no, I love that show. My daughter's really into 80s and 90s nostalgia, and so she's into it too, despite the fact that she's 13 and doesn't have any idea what the 80s are actually like. But Stranger Things is there to tell her. So why don't we just watch that trailer one more time on our way out?
I like it.
That sounds great.
Before you start that, thank you everyone from all of our streaming sources.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You guys continue to support us. This, we're continuing to try to support you guys with your requests, and I am so super excited about this particular content update because of all the things that we talked about today, and the Cache Beaumont, and
because Cache sets us up to continue to add content to the game in a way that makes it really easy for you guys to find it and engage with it and earn it, and so that's going to be fun. And then and you can see that we kind of have been given a new mandate to try to really, provide for you guys the stuff that you've been asking for. And so we're going to keep trying to do that. We got a lot of plans still in the hopper, and very, very soon, you can get the Bounty Broker update. It's going to be just any second now, we promise.
Any second.
So let's leave with the trailer. No, it's not available now, but very, very soon.
Stop lying!
Unless you're watching YouTube, in which case, this is probably out already.
Maybe.
Maybe. I don't know.
Very likely. Let's just say that.
Yeah, maybe.
It's freaking soon.
Oh, it's already. It's already. For most of you listening to this.